Live, Facebook Live for Rythmia. And today I have the privilege to sit here with Kat from Australia. So what's interesting is that Kat and I, we met back in 2019. We were both in our kind of our own personal growth journey. And then I was super happy to see her here at Rythmia. I wasn't expecting that, but it's beautiful to see how when we dedicate time to ourselves and personal growth, their path always leads to deeper growth. And we're going to talk a little bit about her experience here this week and what she felt the week was like for her. Okay, so what a week, huh?
What a week.
All right.
Crazy.
I know that when you came in, it was the first time you did something like this. There were probably a lot of questions, but now looking back, are you happy that you came?
Oh, 1,000%. I can't even imagine not having come.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So tell us a little bit about your experience about the week.
Oh, gosh, there's so much to say. It is such an incredible week, and there is the anticipation of coming, the expectation about what you think that it's going to be, and then the recognition that it's never what you think it's going to be. The whole experience is so encompassing. Like, it feels like the world outside hasn't existed for the last week. It is a very big experience. It's a very encompassing experience, and I feel like there's been a million little journeys in the bigger picture journey, and I'm only just beginning to process exactly what I've learned and what I'm going to take away from the experience. So I still feel like I'm in it, but there's already still so much that's changed in me. I don't even feel like the same person.
Amazing. And that always happens, and for us on this side working here, it's such a privilege to really get to witness the transformation of people every week, because the person that arrives on Monday to the first class and the person that lives here just 6 days later on a Saturday is just not the same person. It is on the outside, we're looking at the same, body and all of that and features, but so much changes in the inside that there is just a different light. There is a different energy.
The wisdom that has come through, the things that have dropped in for me, like the things that I now understand about my life that before just seemed random and some even inconsequential. Like they just came together in this perfectly orchestrated way, beyond my wildest imaginations as to how these things could have come together. But there's just a wisdom now that I just feel like I feel like it's always been there, but I just didn't know it was there. It's just sort of opened up, and I've been able to access it through the medicine, through being at Rythmia, through the people that are here. Like, it all just comes together and just brings out this whole new version of me that I didn't know existed.
Amazing. So you said it exactly right. The journey here at Rythmia and with plant medicine is it's about remembrance. And the interesting part that you're starting to like now realize is what we consciously think happened during the weekend in the Maloka. I always say it's like this much, right? And what actually happened is so expansive, is so much that it goes into deeper layers in your life. So tell us a little bit about something specific that you have maybe gotten more clarity, or what, we talk here in Rhythmia about miracles, right? And miracles, that's a beautiful word, because society is so disconnected from the word miracles, as if there is something like foreign to attain. But really, like here at Rhythmia, we talk about miracles a lot because they happen all the time here, and they happen in life.
I totally agree. The tangibility of the miracles, like the presence to the miracles, is, I think, one of the things that this opens you up to, like, most definitely. Do you know, like, because to say the word miracle now doesn't sound big to me at all. And but in terms of the miracles that I'm taking away, oh my goodness, for me it was a lot. The whole week has been a lot about connecting with the women in my family, in my lineage, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my grandmother, my mother, my two daughters. I have had insights into each of those and how we have had a universal experience, but also a wildly different experience. And I feel like the understanding that I have about my two daughters and who they are and how I can support them in their journeys moving forward has just been profound. And I don't even know that I need to tell them what's come through for me. It just means that I can be a different version of a mother to them, because I feel like I know them now at a soul level. And that's like, to have the honor of knowing my daughters at a soul level is profound. It's a miracle.
Yeah.
It's a miracle, you know. And that's, so my journey has been that sort of, the stories that have come through have been about the women, but my journey for sort of working through the 4 different nights, and how each of those unfolded for me, and how some nights were really difficult, and the ones that I thought were physically difficult, I actually had the third night where I was in my head, and it was a mental game for me on the third night, and the medicine seemed harder on the third night. But then I needed to go through that so that I could understand the journey of the 4th night. And the 4th night was so gentle and profound. And once I could find that kindness and gentleness in myself, in the medicine, the mother just held me so beautifully through that the journey of the 4th night. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just story after story after story just unfolded that is just going to shape the rest of my life.
Amazing. And I'm so proud of you, because the journey with ayahuasca is unpredictable. And in that, there is inherited fear, right? Like the unknown. But it's beautiful because here we are really invited to surrender. And then something that I love about Rythmia, I loved it when I came as a guest, the many weeks that changed my life, and I love it now. It's really how safe of an environment it is, and how everything is taken care of for you, so you can just surrender and find all those edges and those discoveries, and finally just be in a position where gentleness can come. Like, I know when you talked earlier in the closing group, you mentioned that it really allowed you to see your patterns, like on day 3, on night 3, your patterns, and the 4s, and then on day 4 it was more like the surrender. So, in Rhythmia we have a beautiful map of intentions that show me who I've become, right? Which is when we truly feel our patterns, even the ones that we don't even have, we don't even think we have, because they're just so common. And then when we reconnect with ourselves, with our essence, then it's a different type of connection which you're experiencing with yourself.
Yes. Well, it comes back to, the medicine doesn't create, it just reflects.
Correct.
And you can hear it. You can hear it in your head and your mind, and try and imagine what that actually means. But until you experience it, to have experienced that. So the reason that Monday and Tuesday was so difficult, first and second night was so difficult for me, was because I had the resistance, and I thought I was showing up, pushing and doing the things that I needed to do to get the most out of the experience, and the resistance came up physically for me, and then I had all this beauty unfold as well. So I'm like, it was okay, because I went through the physical so that I could get the beauty, and so I came away thinking the experiences were worth it, but they weren't the real experience. The real experience was on the Thursday, when I had to surrender, and I had to really see myself for who I'd become. So I had it, on the Monday and the Tuesday, I thought I'd become that person who was rules-based and who needed to control life, and that is true. That is who I've become. But more than that were deeper layers of fear, and deeper layers of shame that I just hadn't allowed myself to see and feel. And not until I could really see that could I then go to the next level of understanding that I needed to show myself gentleness and kindness. And I kept saying on the 4th night, thank you for being so gentle with me. Thank you for being so gentle with me, and feeling that gratitude and love in my heart. And every time I did that, the night just unfolded. Like, it was just, and the restoration breath. Just understanding that, just being able to bring it back to my heart, and bring it back to letting the medicine work the way that it needed to work for me. And the gifts that unfolded were not just gifts for me, like, they weren't just gifts for me. It serves at so much of a greater level than it just being about my journey. Like, you could feel the connection to everybody in the room, that we were serving each other, that we had really created a collective of shared experiences. Everybody's individual journey was contributing to the whole. And, you know, and someone else's vulnerability allowed you to go further, and someone's strength allowed you to go further, and it just became a collective experience of that oneness that we think that we're so separate, but we're just not, you know. And having experienced that and going then back into real life, whatever that was going to feel and look like, I just think it's going to be a totally different way forward.
Yeah, beautiful. And, you know, you're touching on something that's really unique about Rhythmia and that I really, really value. The more I see the weeks unfold, the more I value it. And that is the collective healing that happens here. You know, there are places that maybe have smaller groups. And the magic of Rhythmia is the size of the group.
Yes.
Because there is a collective healing energy that really works in helping, as you said, this person's vulnerability helps this person and help me, and like this person's strength. So there is a collective energy that helps the group as a whole, which is really, really amazing. And something that you also mentioned that is amazing is when you're talking about, you know, the lineage, the women in your lineage, and connecting with that, and connecting with your daughters now, their souls, their essence. That is what ancestral healing feels like. You know, it's such a beautiful thing, because it's not just about us coming here. It's about our children, our parents, our grandparents. And now we have this beautiful privilege to sit with the medicine of ayahuasca, and has come out from the jungle to the world. So how beautiful it is that you were able to do that for yourself, and also see the effect on your lineage, you know?
So part of me is like, can't believe that from where I came, that I'm now sitting in Costa Rica doing plant medicine. You know, I'm like, who am I to be here doing plant medicine, you know? But when you are going through a purge and it feels so intense and so hard, and then like I just knew the first night it was about my ancestral lineage, you know, and doing the healing work for the women that have been strong enough to come before me. Like I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for their strength, you know. So they have contributed to my journey, and now I'm here being able to contribute to their journey, the ones that have come before and the ones that are coming after. You know, like you need the strength to do the work, but like if you're called to it, you just have to come. You know, like you just have to come, because there's so much healing here to be done. And like my daughters are going to be stronger because of the work that's being done.
Yes.
You know, and they'll be able to go on and do more deeper work because of that, you know, like, and how can we not pay that forward? Like if we've got the capacity and the strength and the calling, how can we not?
Exactly. And you know, and that's beautiful, especially coming from you, because, you know, when we met years ago, we were doing deep personal work, you know, but I know you've recognized now with this week that the work that happens here with the support of the medicine goes way deeper.
And it's not to say that the other work isn't important. Like, you know, I still think that you need to do the other work, because there's a level that you need to operate at, you know, and there are certain things that you need to understand about how you operate in the 3D world. But also this deeper work, it's just so much more profound.
Yeah,
you know?
and exactly what you said, right? Like when there is a calling to ayahuasca, if you're experiencing the calling to ayahuasca, if you're experiencing the calling to come to Rhythmia, it's because now is the time, you know? So sometimes we do a lot of personal work, and we can get stuck in those cycles. But if you feel the call to do something more, to go deeper, then answer that call, right? Like that's the encouragement, because the layers that can unfold because of the work you've been doing and who you are and who you are up to this point can really blossom once you decide to go further into yourself, right?
Yes. I can't even quite fathom what it's going to look like when I leave. I want to sit in the essence of the medicine. And I just think that it's just one of those things that I just need to see how it unfolds. Like, and I don't even want to begin to preempt what it's going to look like. I just know that my experience is here. It's all good.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what's coming. I just need to, like, the trust and the surrender to the medicine is the biggest gift, you know, and if we do believe that we live in a benevolent world, then, and we can really tap into that, then just jump in the river and let the river take you. You know? So,
exactly.
So I feel like that's a whole new level of understanding that, again, a week ago, I could have intellectually told myself that, but I couldn't have experienced it. Like, until I've experienced it, you just don't
Amazing.
know. So
yeah. And that's what it is. It's a different way of understanding. It's not mental only. It's physical. It goes in your cells. It rewrites all patterns of thought. It rewrites, limiting beliefs from within. So tell us about a couple of things that you loved about the Rythmia program.
My goodness, where to begin? I think the magic of the curriculum and how it's all put together, it's so intentional. So the intention of the place is palpable from the moment that we got picked up at the airport. Like, everything is done with the bigger picture in mind. But then it becomes about the people, and the people at Rythmia, from everybody, from the driver to the people at the restaurant who create this beautiful, nourishing food for us with such love and care every day. Everybody is so intentional in their desire for you to have a good journey and for you to get what you need out of the experience. Like, it just, I feel so fully supported in showing up. And it's hard, sometimes it's really hard to be in this work, but it feels easy because you feel so supported. And the going into ceremony and the trepidation and the nervousness and the anxiousness that comes up going into ceremony, but when you see the magic of the team and how they just move through the night and just are there and anticipating what you need in that moment, and letting you be when you need to be, and when they know that it's just you and you need to work through that and get through that on your own, versus when they know that you need help to get up to get the next cup of medicine. Like, the presenceness and the intuition and the ability for them to understand what you need in that moment. It's
really magic.
It's magic. I want to see behind the curtain. I want to see how the team is trained, because it's unbelievable to experience.
The beauty of the dance in the maloca, in the ceremony, is that the medicine is in charge. And the medicine is in charge also of how the team operates. When we arrive to the maloca as guests and we surrender, the team arrives as facilitators, as helpers, and they surrender. So that which you experience is just the beauty and the magic of an environment that is safe and supported by the medicine. So it all works out every week in ways that we cannot explain. Like I always say, sometimes it's a journey like this a week, So you arrive Monday excited, and then there comes the ceremonies, and then by Wednesday, the group is in like a state of like expectation, and they're hurting sometimes and they're confused, but then we just continue encouraging you to show up for the medicine. And when you do, when you show up for yourself, you show up with trust, then what happens by Saturday is a miracle. Like today's closing group it was so beautiful, like so many amazing shares.
Many miracles. I just keep wanting to say many miracles.
Because they're just unlimited. Like, I've been working here for a while now, and apparently we have an unlimited supply of miracles, because we get many every week, and they're beautiful to witness. So the invitation is, if you feel the call to sit with ayahuasca medicine, to go deeper within, come to Rythmia and see it for yourself. Like, see what Kat has so beautifully explained for yourself, and we'll be happy to be with you as well.
Come, trust yourselves. Come to Rythmia. Come.
Thank you, Kat. Such a pleasure to talk to you again after so many years. All right, we're signing off now. Thank